I am sitting here this morning with Pat Seidel, who's the past president of CBYRA. I'm the current president of CBYRA, and together we've tried to grab this organization and shake it up a little bit. One of the ways we're shaking it up is we've gotten very aggressive with the types of grants we've been making. We've got two funds. One is the Chesapeake Bay Yacht Racing Association Reserve Fund. The other one is the Fund for Chesapeake Sailors. Pat is also the trustee of the Bob and Peggy Seidel Family Foundation, and they particularly focus on giving grants to juniors, women, organizations like CRAB, Chesapeake Regional Accessible Boating, and we've been bird dogging, looking for things to help him invest in that we've invested in as well, such as the Women's Thayer Regatta Invitational. Pat, why don't you talk a little bit about Bob and Peggy and you know, the mission they've left you with.
Okay, so to start off with, they were big racers in the 50s in Hamptons. Just made an extraordinary team. They were just the best sailors, national level sailors, champions in 57, and raced the Hampton pretty much all through the 50s, early 60s. Then we came along and they got out of racing, and then in the late 60s, we all jumped back into a Triton. Started racing that, and I was first nationals I was 8 years old. And my parents kept continuing the program. My mother ran the tactics, my father made the boat go fast. So that team really was a strong team. Over the course of years, they were so focused on us. We were sailing Penguins, Lasers, still the Triton, and then the Pearson 30. Just an amazing team.
And you continued on with the Hampton?
They did, yeah, they sure did. But the takeaway for us is that my folks thought we were critically important. So my brother Skip, my sister Bobby, and I were focused where they're focused, and it worked. So I went to the Naval Academy, was on the sailing team there, and just continued to sail since then. My brother's here at Severn Sailing, where we're at today, and it was just because of my parents' dedication and focus. So when they passed, we decided to stand up a foundation focused on promoting women's sailing, like my mother, and the juniors, because that's where we saw our focus as children growing up. My parents invested in us. So with my parents' foundation, we're going to invest back into the things that they thought that were important.
And CBYRA has matched or exceeded the level of funding on some of the events that you've done, and that's a direction that you know, we've purposely driven the organization in terms of a strategic plan to help more with regatta support, with individuals going to major events, whether they be super regionals or nationals or international regattas.
Correct.
One of the things that CBYRA has been trying to do is really push more money out. So we've literally slashed expenses dramatically over the last couple of years. We've eliminated an office, and all that money's gone right back into it. So if you look at our mission to promote and market the support, to educate new and existing racers, and to be a grant-making agency, I think we've fulfilled that mission. And over the last 2 years, we've pushed close to $60,000 out in funding to help people. So I really appreciate you helping us, and I do want to ask people in the community to consider donating to CBYRA, either to the Reserve Fund or the Fund for Chesapeake Sailors, or to both. That really helps to promote our mission. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and I'd be remiss if I did not ask you to do that. So I just want to thank you again for taking the time to come here this morning, and I would ask everyone in the community, please support the sport, help us grow it. We've seen declining numbers on the starting line. We survived the COVID pandemic. We've done a ton of webinars to get people engaged and invested a lot of money to hire some professionals to help us present those things. And all that does cost money. So once again, Pat, thank you so much. Appreciate your help, and have a great day.
John, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.